everyone, Marie here, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for Peartree Cutfiles, but it's also for Lollipop Box Club. If you've never heard of Lollipop Box Club, they are a UK based kits club. They do beautiful little kits that are planner orientated, but you can easily use them for scrapbook layouts as well. So a couple of my, or at least one of my design team is on their design team as well, and she makes some beautiful pages. I will leave the link down below to the kit club so that you can have a look for yourself. But this layout is particularly for they're having a crop, and this is for one of the challenges. This is for the 2023 challenge, and the idea is that you just have to include 2023 on a page somehow. So I've gone big style for including 2023 on my page. I've used the Hello 2023 cut file from Peartree Cutfiles, which was the Friday freebie from about a week ago that was available in the Facebook group. I've also used Going Round in Circles 2023, which is currently available in the shop. I will leave the links below so that you can grab those if you wish. I have combined those with one sheet of paper from the September 22 hip kit and then also the December 21 hip kit. So the December 21 is all wintry and lovely, but there was this beautiful circly paper that fit with the colours of the December kit, which was all snowflakes. Now obviously I'm celebrating, it's the Hello 2023. The photograph is of me, my husband and my son on New Year's Eve at midnight when we're just seeing the new year in. We spent the evening with friends playing games, and that was fabulous. And it's the first year that we've let Elliot stay up until midnight. He's 10 now, so he did sleep till I think 11 o'clock the following day, but it's the first day we've let him stay up till midnight. And that means that, yeah, it was the first year, so I had really wanted to document this one. So like I say, the two papers work beautifully together. A lot of the December kit from 2021 from Hip Kit was all peaches and turquoises. Now I've left all the turquoisey colours out and I've gone for the pinky peach colours. I've gone for black and white photographs so that I could basically make any collection work with my photos. And I wanted to keep it kind of like, like when you think of champagne or you think of sort of celebratory drinks, they're always that sort of champagne-y, peachy, light colour. Do you know what I mean? I know what I mean. So I kind of wanted to go with that because I wanted to keep it light and airy and just a really pretty layout. So what you've just watched me do, and I apologise for not explaining what I was doing as I was doing it, I was trying to figure out a way to take the centre of that backing piece of card. So I took the cut file, which was a full sheet, took a 1/4 inch off of each side so that I could have a border of that lovely paper behind. But I then, and then that would also back the 2023 that's in the circle. But then I also wanted to use that paper to back the other cut file, the Hello 2023. So I used a compass to measure the size of the circle on the cut file, and then tried to measure as near as I could the centre of the piece of card that's going on the back, the patterned paper, drew a circle and cut it out so that I could then use that paper to back the cut file without worrying that I was accidentally going to cut out some of the paper that should have been backing part of the cut file. I really hope that made sense. If that didn't make sense, please do feel free to rewind and work out what I did by watching me. But yeah, basically I just used a compass to draw a circle so that I could position everything correctly and nothing would therefore there would be like no gaps. Hopefully that makes sense. I also distressed the edge of the larger cut file, the circle one, just to give it a bit of roughness. I ummed and ahed at this point whether to sew it on to the patterned paper behind and have that as my kind of interesting edge, or whether to lift it up a little bit and just distress it. So I, in the end, decided to distress the edges because if I then lifted it up slightly, you get sort of a shadow. If it was really flat to the page, there's less of a shadow and the cut file was less obvious. Now there's just, you can just see it there, there's just that tiny bit of shadow and it really gives it a bit of depth. So I'm definitely pleased that I went with the dimension rather than the sewing. I'm now just trying to work out what papers to use to back my cut file with, and I choose these two. So this is a lovely like ginghamy pink, And then there's a grey wood grain. Now, neither of these papers are necessarily papers that I'm going to use. I do always check the back as well. I'm going to use as a full sheet, so I don't mind cutting them up and having those as to back my photographs with. So just perhaps a little bit of double-sided sticky on the back of each photograph, cut around them. I used to always cut with a guillotine. Now I seem to always cut with scissors. I've got those big Tim Holtz ones. They're fabulous. I really like them. I can generally cut very straight lines with them. So generally tend to use those. Now I put tape on the back of the photographs now, but I'm about to stick it down and then I think, no, actually what I'm going to do is cut the card so it's the same size and then distress it and then stick the photograph on just at a slight angle. So there's just a little bit more interest. It's not quite so straight and regimented. I didn't want it straight. I wanted it a bit wonky. I do like to my layers, because then if it's not got this quite the same amount of card all the way around the outside, it doesn't matter. You can't tell. So this is what was left from that circle that I used to back the cut file that I cut from the middle of the sheet, and I'm just going to cut it down in such a way that I can use it to back one half of my photograph, just again for an extra layer, a little bit more texture in there. So I have one photograph with it down one edge and one photograph with it down the other. Now, funnily enough, I actually have stuck these on the wrong way around than I intended. It doesn't matter in the end, but I did mean to put it the other way around, but it doesn't matter. So put all my little scraps in my paper bin. I have a paper bin at the side of my desk. I'm very keen on recycling, so I have two separate bins. I have a plasticky waste bin, and then I have one specifically just for paper. So now I'm just going to play around with my photographs and try and get them to line up where they were before. I couldn't quite get it to work. It was annoying me. They didn't quite go down in the same way they had been, but I'm happy with them. Now I've got these beautiful snowflakes. These are the large silver mirrored snowflakes and the giant, so you saw the giant one as well, that are currently available in the Peartree Cutfiles shop. In the end, I don't use the giant one. I don't even use the bigger of the two. I do use the small one. But I did like it on there. It just gave a bit of sparkle, and I felt that New Year's needed a little bit of sparkle. So just playing around with ephemera now. This has to be my favourite part of a layout, is when you get to pull out all the little bits. It's one of the reasons I do like my hip kits, because they come with so much ephemera and stickers. I do tend to buy the main kit and the embellishment kit, sometimes also the pocket kit, depends on how much I love the colour scheme. So I'm using some of these beautiful puffy stickers, little snowflakes, little stars, sorry, little hearts, not stars. And then there's some more puffy stickers here. I find this little tree. I am picking out all the snowflakes and all the embellishments that are in this colour scheme. So pinks, peaches, that kind of thing, and a bit of yellow as well in there. Not the brightest yellow. There is there are some things that are a more mustardy yellow. I do leave those. Some clear stickers now. These are snowflakes, but they just add another texture to the page. Took a couple of those in. I'm loving how these clusters are looking. So I'm keeping my clusters basically to the rule of 3. There are no rules in scrapbooking. It's just something that I like the look of, is to have 3 clusters that form somewhat of a triangle, but then draw your eyes into the centre where you want the eyes to be, which for this layout is my photographs. So I've put one on the left, one on the right, slightly lower down, and then one at the top as well. So that's a chipboard leafy sticker that's going in there. I'm going to move my tree now. Most of these things are very sticky, but I'm just placing them on very carefully without pressing them down, so that hopefully if I do want to move them, I can. And I do move quite a few of them around. I change where things are. But that's the fun of it, making it look how you want it to look. So again, just more of the embellishments going through. There's so many, there are so many beautiful embellishments. I could literally put them all on. I have to sort of rein myself in and go, no, I've put enough little word tabs on there now. I don't need any more. But I do find these little frames. Now, quite often, I don't use a lot of frames. But I just thought they would look perfect around 2 of the corners of the photograph. Again, just giving that extra bit of layering, that extra bit of dimension. And they look really sweet there. Just deciding whether any of those would work. Now we're onto some little chipboard labels again. I think that might have been from the Pocket Life kit. Found another little sticker there that would work. Now I've got stickers, word stickers on the 2023, and I've got some on that left-hand photograph. I want to put something on the right-hand photograph as well. So now I'm kind of on a hunt to see what I can put on there without it looking like I've put too many on. So there were some tabs. I decided not to use those. They were too big. The tags were too big as well. I did pop a few of these flowers out and contemplate changing some of the snowflakes for flowers, but I decided to just leave it as snowflakes. We weren't outside. It wasn't snowing, but it was very cold. We did go out and have sparklers at one point, but it was very, very cold. But we didn't have any snow. But I didn't mind so much. It is winter, and sometimes winter here in the UK is just cold, and we don't get snow. We don't get snow every year. So you kind of have to use snowflakes where you can use them, and it was perfect here. So just picking off all of the backs of the sticky pads now off the back of my cut file. I was hoping to do that in place without having to remove it from the layout, but unfortunately I couldn't without damaging the word hello. So very carefully took it out, took all the backing off. Now I'm just popping a little bit of finger on the end of my, no, I'm not. I'm putting a little bit of glue on the end of my finger and just rubbing it on the back of the 2 L's and the H of my cut file to stick those bits down so they're not flapping around. They didn't need a lot, they just needed sort of tacking down. And now I've pulled out some of the confetti snowflakes from the shop as well. These are still available in the shop. And I choose a couple of pink ones and a couple of silver ones. And that is it for my layout. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. I adore the colour scheme. And I really hope you'll pop on over to the Lollipop Box Club Facebook and have a look at what's going on with their challenge. There's more than this challenge. There's this 2023 one and there's some others as well. So I really do hope you'll pop over there and join in. I'll leave all the links below for the Peartree Cutfile shop, for Lollipop Box Club and everything else that you might need. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please, if you're not already a subscriber, do consider subscribing and liking this video. It would mean a lot. And I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.